Part 20, Chapter 39. Deakins stood by the mine entrance, sucking on his upper lip, feeling the satisfying, very compact weight of the Uzi in his right hand. Several paces closer to the mine stood Kelly, with a semi-automatic slung around his back, a bandana tied across his forehead, and a flashlight poked through a loop in his belt. As he waited for the fastidious James Johnson to finish checking the Humvee winch for booby traps, Deakins tried hard to decide whether he was giving Hale way too much credit. Question, Deakins said to himself. Could Hale have rigged the bombs to fall if I tried to winch them up? Are the bombs somewhere else? Or is the jerk just hanging in the darkness, waiting to shoot whoever shows his face? Deakins' eyes rose from the shattered doors to Kelly, who stood like a chess piece waiting for the Grand Master's hand. A large part of Deakins wanted to be the first one down, but he held back. Not because of cowardice, but because if Hale were waiting, he didn't want to give him the satisfaction of killing him. Johnson told Deakins that the winch was okay. Go, Deakins said to Kelly. And just remember one thing. Kelly looked at him. There's a thermonuclear warhead down there, Deakins said. Try not to shoot it. Kelly saluted with the barrel of his weapon, then strode purposefully to the mine entrance. He flicked on the flashlight, studied the shaft for a moment, then began to rappel down. Deakins was oblivious to the heat of the sun and to the few insects that were drawn to his sweat. After nearly a minute, he walked towards the mine and had to stop himself from going down. He wanted Hale now. He wanted him bent over a cannon and taking a cat of nine tails across his bare back, or keel-hauled, or dispatched with a few blows to the temple, or even a shot in the forehead. Anything. Johnson walked over to their Humvee and pulled on a black canvas backpack with a suitcase inside. He secured the snaps and then leaned against the side of the car, arms folded. Finally, Kelly yelled. All clear! He added, One of the nukes is here, and it looks okay. Deakins motioned briskly for Johnson to go ahead, and then ran forward himself. Is the bomb bait, or did Hale run out of time? Deakins wondered. The latter, he told himself. It had to be. Hale wouldn't have had the time to do anything clever or fancy. When he reached the bottom, Deakins found Kelly squatting beside the weapon. The panel was off, the controls exposed. He didn't screw around with it, Kelly said. You want to send it up? Deakins shook his head. He picked up the flashlight, looked around the dark shaft, felt the damp, brittle rock. I believe I know what that little pecker is planning. He smiled. Thing is, he's got to get out of here before he does it. And that may prove difficult. Deakins shined the light down the crosscut. He saw the footprints and drag marks in the damp dirt. Come on, he said to the others. Let's go find the other weapon first. Chapter 40. I don't remember this being in my job description. Terry was breathing heavily as Hale sat on top of her shoulders. He had filled her sock with sand and pushed the open end through one of the eye bolts in the crossbeam. Now he was tightening her belt around the open end. Okay, Hale said. Hale held onto the crossbeam with one hand and handed Terry the free end of the belt. She moved out from beneath him and he released the beam and dropped it lightly to the ground. She gave the belt back to him. Thanks, he said. Let me have one of those rocks. He pointed to a small pile lying against a wall. Terry gave him the rock and he looped the end of the belt around it. Then he let go. The rock was now suspended from the belt, hanging above the bomb, over the open panel. The sand prevented the sock from going through the hole in the crossbeam, which kept the rock from dropping. Hale knelt beside the panel. He had used the tongue of Terry's belt buckle to pry open the clock, exposing a circuit board beneath. Now, using his fingernails, he pulled a stamp-sized chip from the board without breaking the two thin wires attached to it. He looked up and moved the chip so it was directly beneath the rock. "I just want you to know," Terry said, "that I trust you. But I don't have a clue as to what you're planning." "Ever hear of Mousetrap?" Hale asked as he reached to the side, picked up a small rock, and laid it on top of the chip. "The play?" Terry asked. "No," said Hale. "The game." She shook her head. "Like I said, we move in different cultural circles." Hale said, "It's a game where one object hits another object, which hits another until the cage falls on the little mouse." "Oh," she said, "like a Rube Goldberg cartoon." "You got it," said Hale. "Our mousetrap is, we cut a hole in the sock, and when enough sand drains out, and we're hopefully in New Mexico somewhere, the sock is pulled through the eye bolt, the rock drops, hitting the rock on this chip, closing the firing circuit, and that's it." Hale stood and checked the alignment once more. "How much time are we going to have?" Terry asked. "I don't know precisely," Hale said. "This isn't a Swiss sock. 20 minutes maybe. I don't want to give it so much time that Deakins could—" Hale was cut off as a pair of bullets flew in, ricocheting off the uneven rock walls. "Down!" Hale screamed, pushing her to the ground beside the bomb and falling on top of her. He craned around and looked back along the crosscut. A second pair of muzzle flashes lit Kelly's face. "Shit!" Hale whispered. "It's them already." "I figured," Terry said. "Can you reach the flashlight and shut it off?" "Yes," she said. "Do you hear a hissing?" she asked. Hale said he didn't, and as Terry stretched an arm ahead, Hale reached down to his belt and pulled out the gun he'd taken from Baker. He remained on top of her, and as he shifted his position slightly to return fire, he felt a tickling on his cheek. "Uh-oh," Terry said, pointing the beam up. Hale followed the shaft of light, saw the line of dark sand falling towards him. "Ah, Christ," he said, and half rising, he reached for the belt. A bullet whizzed by Hale's hand, grazing it. He yowled and withdrew quickly. "Got a problem?" Deakins laughed from somewhere behind them. "We all do, asshole!" Hale yelled. "You think you're safe here?" "No! But you know, ever since I saw Rebel Without a Cause, I've always wanted to play a serious game of chicken. You up for it, buddy?" Terry squirmed out from under Hale. "I saw that movie on Laserdisc," she said. "Deakins can be James Dean if he wants to, but we're bailing out." She shined the flashlight down the tunnel and grabbed Hale's wounded hand. He screamed. "Sorry," she said, and quickly took his other hand. "Come on." "Where?" Hale said. Terry pulled hard, and he followed her down the crosscut. "Remember why I told you they closed this mine?" "A river or something," he said. "Right, and that may be our way out." "But we can't outrun a bomb," Hale said. "Why not? We were going to before." "Yeah, when I was going to punch a pinhole," Hale said. "The sock is draining way too fast." She stopped. "So we don't have 20 minutes. "We may have a quarter of that," Hale said. "You find the way out and run. I'll shut the thing down and try to get to Deakins." You're gonna get killed, or they'll have 2 nuclear weapons. Once again, I don't have any choice, Hale said. Maybe not, but I'm coming with. No, Hale yelled and stared back into the darkness. I don't want that on my conscience. You'll be dead. You won't know. She held her gun and the flashlight at her side. You want to argue, or you want to go back and try to frag Deakins? We're running out of time. Hale took her in with his eyes. You sure you're a park ranger and not a US Army ranger? He asked as they ran back along the tunnel. Right now, she said, I'm only sure of one thing. We're both very insane. Hale wasn't about to argue, especially as they reached the bomb just when Deakins and his men arrived from the other side.